Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Rainie Howard. And I'm so happy that you are here and you said yes to our interview. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm excited to have our conversation and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And I would love to introduce you to the audience. Of course, you are a best selling author, speaker, and personal development leader with 17 years of experience. As CEO of L.O.V.E Bookstore and Inspired Flow, you empower individuals through self love, emotional healing, and purpose driven living. Your latest book, The Love Habit guides readers to build healthier relationships. Featured on Fox, NBC, and ABC, you are known for your expertise in emotional intelligence and spiritual growth. You also host the Rainie Howard Show podcast. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Rainie Howard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. My first question is about your book. The Love Habit focuses on building healthier relationships through self-love. What inspired you to write it, and what key takeaways do you hope readers will gain?
Yeah, well, what inspired me was first just learning how to love myself for one, because I learned that the relationships I had with others were influenced by my relationship with myself. And I went through this period in my time where I struggled with depression and I had anxiety and different health issues. And it was really because I was at a place where I was exhausted, I was depleted from just giving, serving, doing. I really didn't have a self care routine at that time in my life. Didn't really know how to invest in my mind, body, and spirit. And just going through the journey of learning how to take care of myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, it really led me to learn more about the love habit, which led to me writing the book, The Love Habit. And really, what I share in the book, there's an acronym for love, L.O.V.E. And the acronym starts with first L, learn and listen to your body, learn about yourself, learn about what you need. You know, when it's time for you to rest, when it's time for you to take breaks. The O is optimize. And so once you learn about yourself, you want to optimize your daily habits. And maybe something you need to do is to begin to go on a morning walk or have a time to meditate or to pray or, what do you need? Figuring that out and optimizing your life around that. And then the V is all about validating yourself and not seeking for other people to validate you, but learning how to validate yourself, knowing that you are enough. And then finally, the E is for experience. You want to experience the love, the joy, the peace that you desire to have in your life. Experience it even before you feel like you have it. And one of the ways that I learned to do that is by speaking positive affirmations over my life. And just speaking those positive affirmations helped me to attract more positivity in my life and in my relationship. So, yeah, so that's really what led me to writing the book.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I now understand. You talked about the acronym and explained it, of course. So beautiful. I'm so excited for your book. I created a wish list, so to say, an Amazon list with all the books of my beautiful podcast guests. So I put it on the list, of course, and in the show notes as well. And let's see, we have another question. You've been featured
Awesome.
on major networks and recognized for your expertise in emotional intelligence and spiritual growth. What do you believe is the most common misconception people have about emotional intelligence?
I think people are not aware that we can, when we walk in a room, our energy is felt, our emotions, our personality. And I don't think we're always aware of that, and that people are picking up intuitively, and just by connecting with you and your vibes, they're picking up maybe this person struggles with low self esteem, your demeanor, how you carry yourself, your body language. And so understanding these things, they help us to understand relationships, because we're subconsciously teaching people how to treat us by how we show up in the world. And so just being aware of you and how you are more than just the physical, what you see, but you are energetic, you are spiritual, you are emotional, you are, mental. So there are different components of yourself. And so learning more about you mentally, emotionally, spiritually can help you to understand how you're teaching people how to treat you. And so when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's so important that we're aware of our emotions, and also how we are coming across and how we're showing up in life.
Wow, I understand. And I think this is part of the love habit. Of course,
Yeah.
self-care and observing yourself, and also you get to choose how you show up. How, yes, how you show up.
Yes,
And yeah,
exactly. We get to choose. And some people don't think that they have a choice. They don't understand that you create the life you desire each day with your thoughts, with your words. If you have thoughts of defeat and struggle, that can lead to low self-esteem, which can influence the relationships you have and your overall self-image.
yes, absolutely. And this is what we don't want. So we all read your book, The Love Habit. I love it so much already.
Thank you.
And let's proceed as a leader in personal development. How do you balance running your companies, writing and hosting your podcast while maintaining your own self-care and growth?
Yeah, that is such a great question. I've learned the importance of rest. Rest is very important. So I have to make sure that I get the sufficient amount of sleep every night, so that once I'm awake, I have the energy, I have the creativity and the strength to run my business, to write, to come up with concepts and creative ideas, when it comes to connecting with my audience, and yeah, and the podcast and all of those things. Another thing is, I understand that there are seasons that I have to organize my projects and the things that I do. I don't try to do everything at the same time like I used 2 years ago. I've learned from that, just as a businesswoman, and the importance of managing what projects I'm going to do in what seasons, and just prioritizing what's important in that season for whatever I'm doing. So, like right now, with the book just releasing, it's really important for me to not only connect with my audience and share the messages in the book, but also to connect with other audience like yours, and to just share the information. So that's really a priority in this season. And then I have other priorities where I have my coaching program and my podcast and all of those things. And those are seasonal as well. But I think it's really important to be realistic as a business owner. You got to be realistic with your time and what you can and can't do to the best of your ability. I always want to put my best self first. So if if I know that I'm giving so much of myself to a certain project, I may hold off on doing something else because I know that I'm not fully dedicated for that other thing at the time. So I think that's the hard part, knowing what to say no to. Because there's so many things that you may be excited about and you want to say yes.
Oh, that's so true. And thank you for sharing. You talked about prioritizing the tasks, and then, of course, also again to have the choice to be aware of it and to say no to things
Yes,
that don't fit in or don't serve your purpose. Of course, I have
yes,
another question.
yes.
You've trained and treated hundreds of clients throughout your career. Could you share a memorable success story that demonstrates the impact of your work?
Sure. So many. So the way that I started my business in 2008, actually, and it started with me empowering young girls. So I would work with the youth and help to develop and grow self-esteem. And it evolved to me writing blogs and having a blog, then building an audience on social media, and then really writing books that resonated with women who were struggling with relationship issues. And so it started with romantic relationships and really talking to single women who wanted a healthy relationship but seemed to struggle with dating and all of the things that came with, looking for the right one. And I have heard so many stories from women telling me that, your work has helped me to step away from a 19-year toxic relationship. I've heard stories from women who had been through a bad relationship but found the love of their life after going through my program and getting married. So that's always amazing. In addition to that, being able to also help entrepreneurs and women who want to grow as business women, and just hearing those success stories and knowing that the work that I have put out has grown businesses and created healthy families. It just really inspires me to keep going and to continue to progress and grow because I see that it's making an impact on other people's lives. So that's what matters.
Wow, that's so amazing. And I have to say, please reach out to Rainy. She's so amazing and she shares her
Yeah.
wisdom here. And let's connect. This is what my podcast is about as well. And of course, I have another question. You are a coach. And what about your coaches? Do you have coaches and mentors for yourself? And who was the best coach you ever had?
Yes, I have. I have had health coaches, fitness coaches, spiritual coaches, um, therapy coaches, counseling, business coaches, so many. And when I tell you, is I see it as a partnership because every coach that I've had has been a partner in helping me to grow and to have a better, healthier, happier life. And I can say some of the coaches that were transitional to who I am today, I have to say so many. I've taken so much from like business and just learning how to. One of the coaches I say is the business partner I'm still working with to this day when it comes to business, but he's a business partner of mine and he coached me on marketing. I have an e-commerce business where I am running ads and selling products and doing the shipment and all that stuff. And so I've known him for I want to say almost 6 years now. I think about 6 years. So that's a pretty good business coach, but it's also a partnership. So yeah, that has helped tremendously. And I've even contributed to a lot of his success too. That's why I say it's a partnership. So I can say I don't have a favorite, but I can say the most impactful coaches that I've had have contributed to my growth. Fitness, I had a fitness coach, the same I had her for about 5 years. And before it was just like, okay, this is great. Our relationship is, with the fitness part, I'm good to go. But she was really influential in me learning about diet and health and nutrition and exercise and all of that. And so that has helped me to just be healthy physically. So I would say they all have played a great role in my life, and I'm truly thankful for it. So anyone watching, I encourage you to get the partnership and hire your coaches and do the work because it really pays off.
Oh, I love what you said. I totally agree. The importance of accepting a coach, and I never thought of it as a partnership like you pointed that out. Thank you
Yes.
so much for sharing this perspective, so to say. And my last question is about your goals. Do you set goals for yourself or intentions? And what is one of your next goals or projects?
I do. I do set goals for myself. And so what I do is if I'm inspired, oftentimes I'm inspired by something that influences me to say, this is a goal I want to have. Years ago, before I wrote The Love Habit, because this is my ninth book. Um, but before writing this book, I've only self-published books. And so I would just focus on just, going through the whole process of self-publishing. This is the first traditionally published book where I had to go through a whole different process. It was nothing like self-publishing because I had to hire an agent, and then I had to go through like preparation of the book proposal, and then we pitched the book to several publishers until the book was finally sold. And then after the book was sold, it's like a whole year of writing the book and editing and going back and forth, and then recording the audiobook. So it was like a 3-year project, right? And self-publishing is so much different. And with that was a big goal of mine because I was just like, oh, I want to do this traditionally published book. But that goal, it was a process to accomplish that goal. And then once you get over that and it's like the book is here and it's done and all of that. And now I'm at a place where it's like, you get inspired, like what's next? After you reach this goal, then what's the next goal? And I'm really at a place now because I have some ideas of some goals that I want to do as far as like building more community, more live events, retreats. I have all of these different goals. And so now I'm at a place where I am, because I know the process of goals and how much it takes. Now I'm basically trying to decipher, am I just inspired to do this? Is this something that I really want to do, that I'm purposed for doing, and that I have the capacity to do? So I'm kind of weighing my options right now and sorting everything out, doing all the planning. Because I think the thing is with having goals in the past when I was younger, I would have these goals and I would just like, hey, let's go do it. Let's make it happen. And I'll just go and just take all this action. But I've learned just from wisdom and experience, it's better to align yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally before you take action. and really get clear on, is this right for you? And if so, is this the season? Is this the timing? And so I'm just going through that process now, but I love it. I love the space that I'm in when it comes to goals and planning, and just making sure that when I do take the action, everything else is there to back me up.
Wow, that's so inspiring. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I learned so much in our interview, and now it's time for your last thoughts to the audience, please.
Okay. So I just want to encourage everyone who is watching, whatever, wherever you are in this season in your life, um, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, are you living the best life you desire right now? And what can be different? What can you work on to improve? And I just want to encourage you, wherever you are, that you can begin to take steps right now where you are. You can begin to create daily self-care habits that lead to a healthier life and happier relationships.
Thank you so much. This was our interview, and have the best day ever.
Thank you.
And see you in the next episode.